up, you guys? My name is Yadi. Well, technically it's Yareli, but everybody calls me Yadi. Welcome back to my channel once again. Today I'm going to be doing college Q&A part 2. And I'm seriously excited because college was the most important time of my life. It made me who I am today. The good experiences and the bad experiences. And I'm just here today to answer your Q, so I'm going to stop talking. So apparently the way I organize these questions is that we're going to start first with healthiness. The first question I wrote down was about freshman 15. And, if it's real, if, like, what tips I could give you on being healthy. Freshman 15 was so real. So real. It's the first time you're living out of your house. Well, for some of us. And some of us know how to cook here and there, but your budget doesn't really let you. So yeah, freshman 15 is so real. And tips to eat healthy, I mean, honestly, I'd say enjoy it. Of course, if you want to try to keep it balanced, with some exercise or whatever, and try not to gain the weight. But honestly, I had so much fun, or at least freshman 15 was for me because, for example, I would go out to eat with new friends, or we would get Starbucks, or we would get McFlurries from McDonald's at 10 o'clock. So those experiences, I remember so many funny times with those people other than the food. And of course you can still go with them and not eat, but hey, who am I kidding? I totally ate. Also, speaking of that, let's talk about a few snacks for class. I personally love to freeze grapes and put them in a little Ziploc baggie and just take them with me and eat them like a little yummy, not a frosty, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like a slushy, like a healthy slushy. I mean, just in a tiny ball. You can also buy some cereal bars, protein bars. I mean, I really don't know much about health, but that would be some good options. Those are some of the stuff I took. Sometimes when I didn't take anything and I would still get hungry, I would just buy hot Cheetos at the vending machine. Or my best friend and I love some that are called Singers, and they're like little chocolate brownies, I guess, and they have chocolate on top. So good. Of course, not healthy, but they were so good. I would also recommend maybe just taking a sandwich and just eating it, halfway through the day, or you can also take some yogurt and granola. Of course, try not to make too much noise in class if you will eat in class, because professors do let you eat in class. This is no longer high school. Here you can practically do anything you want without disrupting or disrespecting others, for that matter. So yeah, the next question is, can I drop my classes if I don't like them? Yes, you can. There's a certain deadline for you to withdraw from those courses, dropping those courses without getting penalized, without it appearing on your transcript. You can definitely do that. However, that's probably within the week or the first 3 days that school starts. There's also another option to withdraw from a class, but you will get a W from from the, not the professor, but the schools have that policy, and they'll put that W in your transcript, or an I as incomplete. Now, I personally do not have any W's, any withdraws. However, I did have to pause 2 of my classes towards the end of my college career. I was going through some pretty rough times, and honestly, I probably just wouldn't have signed up for that many classes at that moment. However, my scholarship did require me to sign up for at least 15 hours. So at the moment, it was a little bit too much for me for everything that was going on. However, the doctor, I was seeing the doctor, and they wrote me a letter. The faculty, back then, my professors, they saw the letter, and I applied for that. It's what's the word? I don't remember what the wording is actually of what you do with a class, but it's like a medical leave or something like that. However, you do have to complete the class within the next semester, and this is something I really didn't know. I found out a few weeks until the next semester, and I took for one class, the professor allowed me to take one test to complete all of them, and of course I didn't do that well because it was one test for like that whole semester, and I got a D. And the next class, I honestly just didn't take the exams and I got an F. So those still haunt me. Of course, I regret getting those grades because other than that, my grades were pretty good. However, seeing it on a medical side, like a healthy side, mentally, I wouldn't have been able to complete those courses on my own. I would have failed them anyways. So I think I'm okay with my decision of taking that partial, incomplete, or I don't know what it's called. But yeah, so that's just my personal experience. If you guys want me to talk about it, just let me know and I'll try to not cry about it and just say what was going on at that moment. But anyways, let's do the next question. The next question is, should I join a sorority? Now, I personally did not join a sorority because there was only 2 sororities in my campus, and both of them, honestly, this is gonna sound mean, and it's probably not in the way I mean it, or maybe it is, I don't know, but I did not see myself with the rest of the girls that were there. One of my friends did join, one of them, the one that was a little bit more popular, but I don't know, it didn't seem like they were my group of friends. Of course, I didn't get to meet the girls or anything, like, this is just from an outside perspective. I just didn't feel like I was gonna fit in, so I just didn't join. Also, like, this was not a big university, was where I was at. This is UTRGV, so it's not a big university. Of course, there's not that many sororities. They're not all super selective, so it really depends on what you want. Some people say, oh, it's because you're paying for friends. I mean, I just think it's a cool way to have some other type of like friends. It's more like a sisterhood, according to what they say. Again, I'm an only child, so I wouldn't know about having sisters. Now, the next question that a lot of you probably have is, how many years does it actually take to earn a degree? Now, usually on the recommended track, you should take 4 years, depending, of course, on what degree. And this is based, I think, on 60 credit hours. It is. Yeah, I believe it's 60 credit hours, like of a total for your bachelor's. Now, of course, for example, if you're doing like summer school and you have dual enrollment, it's gonna take you a little bit less time. It could take you 3 years. It could take you 2 years, because one of my friends, she actually joined this school called MSA, where the last 2 years of your high school were also the first 2 years of college. So technically, she finished college in 2 years because, the next 2 years it was already all her core courses. But you don't necessarily have to take it at that pace. If you feel like you need to go a little bit slower, you totes can. You can do, instead of doing 15 hours, a semester, you can do 12, you can do 9, depending on you. Also, I believe FAFSA. I think for FAFSA to get that financially money, you do have to take at least 12. I'm not sure on that, don't quote me, but I think that's what it is. So if anything, just research it. Now there's another question that probably a lot of you are thinking of, and is, should I live at home and commute, or should I live at the dorms? I personally did actually both of them. I only commuted from home for the last semester of my school year. My scholarship paid for, the dorm. So I stay there. I also had classes from 7 to 10. So imagine having to drive there. Back then I didn't have a car. But still, like, imagine having to drive that late. I think a few of my friends would drive me to my dorm, because I don't remember walking that late at night. It was well lit. Like, there was a lot of, like, what are those, like, light posts or whatever. But still, you never want to be you're never too safe. That's what I mean. Now, with commuting, of course, you're going to save a lot on the dorm and on food, because your mom is going to feed you, or your dad, or whoever cooks in your house, or maybe yourself. But it's a different experience for sure than staying in the dorms, because, of course, for example, in my dorm, there was 5 of us, so you start bonding a lot with those other people, with those other 4 people. And of course, you have the weekends, since over here the everybody lived pretty close to the dorm. Everybody mostly went to their house over on the weekends. So you could either have a dorm to yourself, or you can hang out with your roommates all weekend, or you can just go home and be away from your roommates. Now, picking your roommates, that's pretty difficult. Honestly, I did not know my roommates when I moved in. I knew of one girl from my school that was moving into the dorms, but for some reason, it never really. Actually, I think two of them stay at the dorms. I'm not sure. But for some reason, I never really asked her. She never really asked me to be roommates. And, I never posed that question to myself until, 3 years later. I was like, why didn't I just room with her? But anyways, I met actually, three of my roommates. No, two of my roommates. No, oh my God. Actually, all four of my roommates my freshman year were part of the same scholarship program that I was. So I met them before we moved in technically, but this was only probably a week before we moved in. And then of course I met them a little bit better at the dorm. We talked a bit, we met each other's parents and stuff, and everybody was pretty chill. Then there was three of us that really, really bonded, so we moved together to another apartment so that one of them could have the full room, because there was three big rooms in that apartment, and then one that was shared by two people. So she was in one shared by two people, so we moved away so she could have a room on her own. And we lived pretty good until something happened towards the end that I kind of wish we were still friends, because she was one of my faves and she was awesome. But anyways, I guess that's life. But yeah, I backtracking to my initial question to myself. I did not know my roommates, but they turned out to be pretty cool ladies, very inspiring ladies. So yeah. Now for me, the most difficult part about having roommates was, I guess, having to live with girls or people for that matter. Because again, I'm an only child, It was always just me. I never really had cousins around or friends around my house. So or neighbors or whatever. It was always just me. So it was weird, seeing these people all the time that were around my age. So, I mean, it was still pretty cool because I got to meet new people that I wasn't, otherwise I would have never met. But it wasn't hard. It was just it threw me off a little bit. Because suddenly, there was these people there all the time with me, and I was like, what? Now, let's talk a little bit about homework. How many hours of homework did I end up doing? Honestly, I think I probably did maybe 3 hours a day of homework. Of course, if I had a test, it was way different. It was an all-nighter. But I think technically, you're supposed to study, I think, 3 hours a day per hour that you're in class. But come on. Really? No one does it. It's college. Actually, I knew of a few people that just didn't have a social life and studied all the time. But that's not the point. The point is that, it just depends on yourself on how quickly you learn. I have a friend who he pays attention in class and that's all he needs, and he'll maybe look over his notes once for the test. But I'm the one that kind of has to read ahead and read after and read through during the class and read. So yeah, it just depends on the way you learn. Now, one of the best ways to not get stressed about your homework assignments or exams or quizzes or whatever is to buy yourself a planner and keep track of everything that you have to do and when it's due. That's what helped me. I specifically color-coded differently the tests so that I could emphasize them a little bit better. And lastly, what's the thing I loved most about college and what's the worst? Honestly, I really, really, really loved my whole college experience. It was so much fun. One, I completely loved the freedom that I had. Again, for the fourth time or fifth time, I'm an only child, so you can imagine how overprotective my mom I'm not gonna say was, because she still is, but that just being away from college, I didn't have her watching over me like a hawk. So sorry, I'm banging my feet because I don't know, I'm in this sofa, so I'm kind of relaxed. But anyways, so that was one of the cool things, that I had freedoms. A lot of freedom. If I wanted to go out with my friends for dinner and stuff, I could. I didn't really have to ask for permission. I would still tell her, but I didn't really have to ask for permission, and I wasn't grounded or things like that. One thing that I love the most about my whole experience in college was actually studying abroad. Trust me, if you can do it, do it. It'll be the best time of your life. Now, one of the worst part about college, I guess the competition, I want to say. So how do I put this? Once you get to college, most of the people are there because they actually want to learn. Now, I was in the biology field. There was a lot of us that were pre-med, and the competition is intense, and it's so hard not to compare yourself to others. So that's one of the things, and probably, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do it, but it's something I blame myself for. Like, why do I keep comparing myself to these people? We're all so different. We all have different strengths and different weaknesses, so stop it. But other than that, I don't think I hated too many things about... Ooh, yes! Oh my gosh. Something else that I really dislike about college, but what can I do, is GPA. Because not everyone... Okay, you think you're done with high school. You kind of are, but not really, because some people still cheat and they still get away with it. And it pisses me off so much, because they can cheat and get 100 and you will get a 70 or an 80 or whatever, and they will have a better GPA than you. But that doesn't mean that they learned more than you did. Of course it doesn't. But university officials just grade it that way, and GPA means so mad. I'm not even pronouncing well, but it means so much. I can't. I wish it didn't, but really there's no other way to measure how smart you are, to measure your knowledge. But yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, of course, I would prefer that those people didn't cheat, but hey, what can I do? But hey, that's all for today's video. I'm so excited that you guys are still here with me. This is only Q&A part 2. We're still missing Q&A part 3 and part 4, because that's how many questions I have. Well, I think y'all have for me. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on the next one. It'll probably be maybe like in 3 weeks. I do want to finish them before like the end of August, before y'all start school. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to share this wonderful video with any other future college goers or current college goers. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!